curious, slightly mysterious. Most biological changes take millions of years to manifest, yet modern human intelligence emerged in a fraction of that time. We are left with a massive, unexplained gap between our primitive ancestors and the sudden arrival of civilization. The standard scientific model argues that we are the product of slow, random mutation, a concept first proposed by Charles Darwin. The traditional theological model offers a six-day creation narrative, but even modern theologians concede that the book of Genesis was written as a poetic parable to guide ancient nomads, not a literal scientific textbook. Neither framework fully accounts for physical anomalies like the pyramids of Giza. Across the globe, entirely unconnected civilizations began constructing mathematically precise megaliths at roughly the exact same time. Biological evolution requires eons to refine a single physical trait. Yet humans who had never built anything larger than a hut were suddenly aligning multi-ton blocks with the stars. Random mutation does not produce structural engineering. If evolutionary biology leaves gaps in our timeline, and the Church accepts Genesis as an allegory, the actual, literal record of our origins must be hidden in an older history. That history starts in ancient Sumeria, the world's first known civilization. Long before modern tools existed, the Sumerians possessed an advanced mastery of mathematics, planetary orbits, and astronomy. Clay texts describe their founders as the Anunnaki, beings who descended from a distant orbit to harvest Earth's minerals. According to these records, their lower-class workforce, the Agigi, spent years laboring in the mines before rebelling against the severe, brutal conditions. To solve this strike, the chief scientist, Enki, proposed the creation of the Lulu. The Lulu was a primitive worker custom-designed to take over the grueling mining operations. The texts detail the exact method of this creation. Enki extracted the genetic material of a native Earth hominid, likely a Neanderthal, and spliced it with Anunnaki DNA. This intentional crossbreeding produced a highly intelligent hybrid, Homo sapiens. Humanity was never an evolutionary accident. We were a purposefully engineered workforce, designed by an advanced species to serve a specific industrial function. Once created, this human workforce was directed to construct massive, mathematically aligned ziggurats and stepped pyramids. These towering stone structures served as terrestrial beacons and infrastructure for the Anunnaki. Thousands of years later, during the Babylonian exile, enslaved Hebrews were brought to the capital. There, they encountered the surviving remnants of these ancient Sumerian historical records. Hebrew texts copied these accounts. The biblical Noah's Ark mirrors the Sumerian Gilgamesh epic, where Utnapishtim survives an Anunnaki flood. Furthermore, tablets describe extracting genetic essence. Mistranslating the term life force as rib turned this laboratory procedure into a creation myth. Even the Tower of Babel connects directly to a physical structure, the Babylonian ziggurat of Etemenanki. The Hebrew authors took physical, extraterrestrial infrastructure and rewrote it into spiritual allegory. The Book of Genesis serves as a redacted, simplified summary of these older, extraterrestrial scientific records. When we place evolutionary biology, biblical creationism, and the Sumerian texts side by side, only the Anunnaki framework seamlessly unites the missing links of our biology, global architecture, and ancient scriptures. The Darwinian model alone remains insufficient to explain the sudden, unprompted genius of early humanity without some form of external intervention. Modern biblical creationism collapses when stripped of its historical context, as it relies on interpreting copied, misunderstood Sumerian texts as absolute truths. Our highly complex DNA, the surviving cuneiform tablets, and the global network of pyramids are the physical, undeniable scars of an ancient extraterrestrial engineering project. We are the crowning technological achievement of the universe's first genetic engineers, the living legacy of visitors who descended from the stars.